I have spoken about this in the past, about reviews and how they're really valuable to businesses, and I believe I've mentioned this very briefly before. However, as with everything that I record, it always comes from a conversation with a client, with a colleague, or myself. I like to talk to myself very often. And this was, are negative reviews bad for your business? And I remember the very first time we had a negative review, and it was maybe 3 years ago. And it was a client that had come to us and was very happy with our services. We designed some business cards, we got them printed, we had them sent out, and there was a printing error with the business cards. So naturally, we replaced them. And then 6 months later, the client come back to us and asked for some changes to the design, of which we'd previously quoted a price. The price had gone up by £5, as things do. And he then decided that he wanted to go elsewhere and leave us a Google review. And at first, when we had that, we've had 100% 4 5-star reviews. Absolutely fantastic. I could not have been happier. And what happens is when you do get a negative review, it takes your star rating down naturally because it's based on the amount of reviews that you have, the amount of positive. And if you get one bad one, and at that time we probably had 30 reviews, now we have over 170, it obviously depletes things down to like 4.5 stars or something because of the amount of reviews and how many one-star reviews can take it down. So naturally, I was very disappointed. However, what I learned from a very, very good PR friend of mine is how you respond to those reviews is more important than the review you have and you get and you receive. Let me repeat that again. The review that you have doesn't matter as much as the response that you give that particular review. Think about it, right? When you go through and you look at a potential service provider, you always read the reviews, but you also read the replies to those reviews. A great example of this is about maybe 3 months ago, we had someone or some people or something reach out to people on WhatsApp with a Canadian number, an American number, loads of different number codes, country codes, saying that we will pay you in crypto for every follow that you give one of our clients or something like that. The English was awful. And we had quite a few people reach out to us and say, can you remove me from your marketing list? And can you, why have you got my details? This isn't ethical, etc. And we replied to all of those people. We had some phone calls as well. And we said, the only number that we can call from is the one that you are receiving from at the moment. That is the only number we have. We don't use WhatsApp. We only send emails from our domain name and from the people within our business. And naturally, we said these things in a very concerning manner because if people get these messages out of the blue from a company in London, it can be a little bit suspicious. Obviously, it was not us. It was someone pretending to be us. And these weren't people we contacted before. There was no data breach or anything like that. It was just random people that they were contacting with no thought behind it, really. So not very nerdy, one must say. However, somebody left us a Google review. And on that Google review, they said that this company has reached out to me and they are asking to pay me money for all of the people that I follow. This isn't a very ethical thing to do. I wouldn't recommend this company. And we responded with a very large response, basically explaining the whole situation. And my immediate natural reaction when you get these reviews is to try and flag it to remove it. However, Google change their policies all the time, and to get reviews removed is very hard. However, this particular review wasn't of our service. It wasn't a genuine experience, which Google do classify as that review can be removed. However, what I thought the best way of doing so would be is for our team to write a response and reply to it. And we have had a few comments along the way of people that have read our replies to reviews. Because yes, every business isn't perfect. I think we have maybe 2 or 3 out of 170 plus reviews where clients weren't particularly happy. Whether that be for someone that reached out on our behalf, as I just mentioned, or the £5 increase in price, or a few maybe different other reasons. Some people will never be happy. If a business has 100% 5-star reviews, it's a little bit of a red flag, in my opinion, because as I said, not everybody has a positive experience when it comes down to a service or a product. There will always be someone that isn't happy. My advice is if you do get one of those reviews, don't jump and try and remove it. Obviously, if it is a disingenuine review, as in it's maybe something that a competitor has wrote, you have no recollection of who that person is. And this is a great sort of response tactic, is if you see a review that comes through and you don't recognize the name, you don't recognize anything about it, simply respond to the review and saying, thank you for taking the time to leave us a review. However, we don't seem to have your details in our database. If you could please reach out on this email address or this number so we can talk about your problem further and investigate and come to you with a resolution. Because sometimes what that happens is people psychologically, when people are looking at it psychologically, they are thinking, oh, maybe that's a competitor. At least I do that anyway. I overthink everything, so maybe that might be not one of my best traits. However, the lesson from this is don't worry if you get a review. If it is not genuine, if it is someone you don't recognize, absolutely contest it. But if it is someone that hasn't had the best experience, or they've been a problematic client, or things happen, right? The most important thing is how you reply. There was a very funny TikTok video of a Chinese restaurant, and they were replying to reviews, and one of the reviews was like, this tastes awful. And their review was, well, don't buy from us again, thank you. And really short reviews. And they went viral for how they responded to reviews. The opposite direction of what we're talking about now. But it just goes to show replying to reviews is so important, even if they are positive. And this is why you should always reply to any review that you get, no matter if it's positive, no matter if it's negative, because it shows you and your brand and your reputation of how you deal with these situations. A little myth busted there. So yeah, always reply to your reviews on any review platform because it will help massively. Stay awesome, stay safe, but most importantly, stay nerdy.